So today we're going to go ahead and do our nails, and then we're going to see how long they last, because I have had quite a few people tell me that they absolutely wish their nails would last as long as mine or look the same as mine and different things. And to me, it's like, I'm doing them basically like there's really nothing special. But I'm just going to go over what I do, and then maybe if some of you guys are struggling with your nails, you can pick up some tricks. I don't know. So first of all, I make sure that there's nothing underneath my nails. I clean out from underneath them, and then sometimes if I really want to, I'll like do some filing along the edges a bit and shape them how I want to. But right now I'm feeling very lazy, so we're just gonna paint them instead. Okay, so one thing that I definitely recommend is to use a like a natural nail base coat, and then whatever color you want, and then the top coat. My favorite brand is OPI, mainly because they seem to last a lot longer to me, so I've been impressed with them so many times over and over again that is why I use them over different brands. But whenever you use the base coat and the top coat on either side of your color, I find that a lot of times you can use a really cheap color and it will make that cheaper color last longer as well. So we don't have anything on our nails, they're clean underneath, so we'll start with our base coat. I cannot believe how close we are to Christmas. So right now it is, oh Lord, it's Wednesday before Christmas, and this time around Christmas is gonna be on a Monday. So yeah, so it's Wednesday. I think it's the 20th. Oh Lord, I probably just got the wrong date. 21st, 20th. We're gonna say 20th and hope for the best. So I am super excited for Christmas. I'm hoping that I can just leave these nails on till Christmas, but we'll see how long they last. I am pretty brutal with my nails, and I don't usually keep my nails away from things that would harm them. I do my chores and everything just like any other day, and I know a lot of people who will try to be more delicate with their nails, and I'm just really not very good at that. So for me personally, I like to make sure that I get all the way up into the cuticle of the nail and go all the way to the tip, and I like to get the sides all the way to the skin. I know that some people, since they see a base coat as a glue, will not necessarily get the entire nail, but I do. So let me see if I can zoom you in. So I went ahead and zoomed you guys in a bit. So we'll see if this is a little easier for you guys to see what's going on. So now that we have you zoomed in, we have our base coat on, and it just kind of shows us a little bit more shiny. There's not really much, going on with the base coat, obviously. The color that I'm going to use today is, of course, an OPI, since I said those are my favorite. This is their nail lacquer, and I think this one's called Berlin They're Done That. Yes, because OPI can't just have normal names like taupe or something. They gotta mix it up a little bit, which is fair. So I like to make sure that the base coat is dry and no longer moving, which happens really fast with the OPI. I'm not sure about other brands if they take longer to dry down. And I go all the way up to the cuticle like I did before and bring it all the way down to the tip of my nail. And I try to make sure that the fingernail polish is equally dispersed on that finger. So I don't know if it will show you at all, but There we go. Okay, so as you can see, I went a little bit past the nail. That is okay, at least for me. I go ahead and paint mine, and then I'll go over it with a top coat, and then around the nail, I will like file around it to get the stuff off, or I'll clean it up with whatever I decide at that time. So some people have like these paper or glue guards that I've seen to go around the nail. And it's not that I am averted to not using those. It's just that I don't have extra money. And so I just am a little old-fashioned with doing my nails. I keep it as simple as I know how to, with also making them still last. So that's what I try to do. Maybe I can go ahead and fast forward this section for you guys so that you guys don't have to painstakingly wait through me painting my nails. One thing I wanted to tell you about these is that I have had all three of these for at least a year, if not a couple or more. So that is one thing. So for this process, we are now through the second part, which is just the color. And if I have a really thick nail polish on, then I will run my fingernails under ice cold water. And it is the weirdest thing, but if I run it under the ice cold water, then they dry a lot faster. So we're gonna go ahead and try that trick with these, but this isn't necessarily needing that because it's not as thick, but we're gonna go ahead and do it so I can show you. So this is as cold as the water will naturally go. So it is pretty cold, so I don't put my whole hand underneath it because of how cold it is. I just go ahead and do just the fingernails. So once we've run them under the water, you can see that like they're still wet. So if I lightly feel my nail, I can feel how tacky it is, and these are not tacky at all. So I can very gently take a cloth and go over them and get just that extra water off of them. I'm not really applying pressure. I'm like barely sweeping it across, and it doesn't mess with the paint at all. They're not tacky at all. So I'm going to go ahead with the top coat, and I'm going to apply that now. Whenever I do the top coat, I can also do the cold water trick after I do the top coat if I want to. So with this top coat, it is pretty old and it's getting a little bit clumpy. So I'll fast forward through this because this is probably gonna take me a little longer than it would if it was a brand new top coat, but it still works, so it's good for me. So I've discovered from making this video that I probably need to get a new top coat. But besides that, I think it went okay. We're gonna go ahead and we are going to do our underwater trick one more time for this layer, and then we're done for today. All right, so we went ahead and got all of these all wet with the cold water. Let's see. It doesn't appear to be messing with the... Since my top coat is so old, for me, it will take a little bit longer for these to dry, but they're good enough to where if I slightly brush something or if I'm careful with them, they will not spread to other articles of clothing or different things. So I just take that and get it a little dry. And then the last step before we will see how long this whole thing will even last for is going to be using a file. So this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. You could use a fingernail polish remover or something of that sort, but this is what I do. Whenever I have little bits of paint still left over like that, I take the file and I just file off the paint that is above the nail. And it doesn't hurt. It's not something where I'm hurting my skin or anything like that. See, it just takes off the paint. It doesn't cause any skin irritation. So I'm going to do that for the rest of my nails. And then I think what we should do is we should do some check-ins. So I'm thinking that I will check in with you over the next couple of days and kind of just see how long these last and see how long they will, you know, at what point do they start chipping, at what part are they growing out to where they no longer look good, and we'll see if we can make these last till Christmas. So we'll see. All right, I'll see you guys in a moment. We'll be back. Here we are on day 2, and it's looking pretty good. There's no cracks or anything in the fingernail polish, and both hands are doing fine, which is kind of surprising since the top coat was kind of janky yesterday. So we'll see how this goes. Here's day 2. Here we are at day 6. There is some wear on the very tips, so what I'm going to do is just file off the wear and continue to see how long they last. So I will just file off the very tip. Here we are about 2 weeks after we painted the nails. It is January 2nd, and we painted them the night of December 20th, I think it was. So tomorrow would have been 2 weeks, and I think it's time to retire them. There's chipping around these edges right now, and I could just file them off, but they've also grown out so much that I don't think it would be worth it to me at this point to just file them off unless I had ran out of fingernail polish. A few days ago, whenever I did file them down, I could have put a clear coat over the top and they may have even lasted longer, but my clear coat's a little bit too old, so I decided against doing that this time around. So yeah, there you have it. That's the end.